Moms on the Go. Thank you for subscribing and watching our videos. So today we are on vacation and I thought this was appropriate for our salsa. So the salsa that I'm going to show you how to make is called Tequila Salsa. So thank you for watching and make sure you do subscribe to our channel. God bless you. So we're going to get started making our tequila salsa. This seems like it's very simple, very easy to make. The first time we heard about it was on a show called The Real. It comes on daytime, but we couldn't find their recipe, but we did find another website with the recipe on it. So we are going to make some, and I'm so excited about it. So I hope you guys like it. So what we're going to do is, I have most of the ingredients here already lined out, and I've cut up most of them, but not everything, right? So what we have is the most important part of it is the tequila. Okay, I used a different tequila than what they recommended because I went to the store and that tequila they recommended was about 50 bucks. So if you want to use that tequila, I will put the name under the description in case you want to buy it. We have our olive oil, we have our cut up onions, our cilantro, our garlic, we have our lime juice, we have water, we have our Serrano peppers, and then we have ROMA tomatoes. Now the recipe they use called for regular tomatoes, but we're going to use ROMA tomatoes, and I think that's it. I hope I didn't miss anything. And then once we mix all this up in a big bowl, we're going to put it in like mason jars or just extra jars that I have that I save and I want to recycle. So we'll do that. But first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the Serrano peppers. I'm going to slice up or dice the tomatoes. And I'm also going to dice the garlic, right? And then we're going to mix everything up. So I'll do a little bit of that on video because I've already cut most of it up and you guys weren't there to see it. So we're just going to take our Serrano, well, let me do the dice the garlic first, right? So, and I have a little hand dicer and also electric one, but I don't have a plug where I'm standing right now. So, I'm going to dice this up with a knife. Now, if you have an electric what do you call those things to dice your vegetables up? Whatever they're called, I can't think of it right now. But if you have an electric one, you can use that to dice those up. But I just use a knife for now. And any of the bigger pieces, I'm just going to take and just try to make them as small as I can. Okay, then we have the Serrano peppers here. We're going to take the stems off, put those aside. And what I do for these is I just cut them, slice them down the middle. Okay, then I go over here and I just scoop out the seeds. Right, the seeds make it extra spicy, but we're not really trying to make it extra spicy, so we're just going to remove those seeds. Not sure if the recipe calls for removing the seeds, but I'll check in a moment and I will see. So what we're going to do here is just dice these up, small pieces. So electric food processor, that's what I wanted to tell you guys. So that would be a lot quicker, you know, and easier if you just threw those in there once you slice it and you take out the seeds. Okay. And if you want to use your food processor for the onions, you know, you can do that and they'll come out a lot finer than if you were just doing all of this by hand. And there may be several levels, I don't know, but I don't recall mine having a level. Okay, so I'm going to just set these to the side. And again, we have 4 of these. I'm actually, these are strong, but I'm actually doubling my recipe because I'm going to make a few jars of this, a couple of jars at least, so I can refill them if needed. Okay, let me go ahead and scoop everything out of this one as well. Then I'm going to have to clean my mat off. And I'm tempted to use my processor. You know what? I think I will, so I can kind of hurry up with what I'm doing. So I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to use my processor, and then I'm going to come back and slice the tomatoes. Okay, so I just took this to the side and I just grinded all of that up in my processor. So, ooh, it's getting to my throat. Hot, hot. Okay, so there that is. Okay. So I'm going to take that I just grind up and I'm going to mix them in with the onions here. Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to throw this away and we're going to slice a couple of tomatoes and then we'll be back towards the end. Okay, now we're going to dice the tomatoes, and again we're using ROMA tomatoes. You might have a different method. Oh my gosh, I keep coughing because these peppers are extremely hot and my throat is feeling all of it. You know, I met this nice lady today at Walmart, and she told me, she said, "Oh, you're making salsa?" And I said, "Yeah, how'd you know?" All the ingredients, of course. She said, "Well, you know, Roma tomatoes are better to make the salsa." And I said, "Really?" So I was going to get Roma tomatoes, but the recipe called for regular tomatoes, so I went with the nice lady's idea. The Roma tomatoes. Okay, so you might want to go with that nice lady's idea. Good job, Walmart. You hire people that actually care and give hints and suggestions. And she was at the checkout, so thank you, kind lady. Well, I'm still smelling those serrano peppers. Okay, now I'm going to cut the rest of these off camera, and we'll be right back with the rest of the ingredients. Okay, we're back. So what we have in our ingredients is we use 4 Serrano chilies. We're going to need 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 large tomatoes, but we use ROMA tomatoes, and I think I had like 7 or 8. 2 cloves of garlic, and we minced that. 2 teaspoons or tablespoons of cilantro, and we have that right here. We already cut it or diced it up. 1/4 cup of water, since we're doubling it. That's 2/4 cups, which is 1/2 of water. 1/3 cup of tequila, which will double that as well, so that'll be doubled. And then we have our lime juice, which we need 1/2 cup of lime juice, and we're going to double that as well. Okay, so we'll start mixing this up and seeing what we have. Okay, this is a little challenging for me. Who makes this? Concord Foods. There's little writing over here that says puncture small hole in top. So I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to take my fork and see if I can puncture a hole in there with my fork. No, that's not going through. I have to try something else. Hold on. Okay, here we are again, back to making our salsa. So what we're going to do now is we're going to, I made a mess a minute ago. I spilled the olive oil. So we're going to put our tomatoes in this big dish. Okay. Just put these here because we need to throw these away. Okay, so there are tomatoes. And then we're going to put the onions, the serrano peppers, and the garlic. We're going to put that in. Right? Okay, we're going to put all that in. Okay, then we're going to need 2 tablespoons of cilantro, which I may put just a little bit more because we actually doubled or almost tripled the recipe. Okay, and there's 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, we probably need just a little bit more, and I'm just going to pour a little bit more in. Okay, so then we're going to mix this up. Okay, so we're just going to toss this. It's already starting to look really good. Okay, I'm tossing this. It's already starting to look like salsa. I am going to be the queen of salsa here. Okay, so we're mixing that up. I think we might need a little bit more. Whoops, there's a stem. I don't want the stems in there. Okay, give it a little more green. Okay, actually, you know what? I'm just gonna toss the rest of that in there. So that was probably 4 tablespoons. Oops. There's stems in there, so I'm taking those out. Okay, so we're mixing all that up, and it's pretty mixed up in here. Okay. So then what we're going to do is add our water. And so we're supposed to add 1/4 cup of water. So I put that in there. I think I may just put in 3/4. So a fourth and a fourth. This is where your math comes in, kiddos. A fourth and a fourth is 2/4, right? And then it can reduce to a half. So then I put another fourth, right, of water. And then I need a third a cup of tequila. Okay, let's break open the tequila. Again, that's the one that I'm using. Oh, I can't open it. I'm gonna have to call some strong arms in here. My son just came in from college, so maybe I'll get him to open it. I'll be back. Okay, so the strong arm opened it up for me. So what we need is a third of a cup. So we're gonna do 2 of those. So where's my third? Right there. Here we go, peeps. And there's one. And we do another third. And how about just a little smidgen to grow on? Oop, okay. Okay, and then we're going to need a half a cup of lime juice. So let's hope. Let's hope there's a, I think that's going to be. I think that's going to be pretty much all of it right here. So we're just going to go ahead and squeeze the rest. This whole little container. All right, let me squeeze that. Okay, let me put this over here. And so then it calls for us to stir this together. Okay, we mix that up. This is starting to look really good. Okay, and then I'm going to clean up my area really quick, and then I'll be right back for the finishing touches. Okay, so the final touches on this is to add salt and pepper to taste. And wow, I don't really know how I'm going to do that, but we're going to use, okay, because salt and pepper to taste, and then I'll put a little bit more. Okay. I hope you guys have had fun making this, because I have. And I hope I'm almost out of sea salt. I'm going to get a spoon and just taste a little bit of it. I think we might need a little bit more tequila. Oops, we're out of salt. Okay, let's taste a little bit. Okay, I had to fill this back up with my pink Himalayan sea salt. Okay, so let's grind a little more salt in here, a little more pepper, stir it up. Then I'm going to take a ladle and I'm going to put it in jars. Okay, so there it is right there. Looks wonderful. Okay, so we have our 2 jars that we are going to fill this with. So we're just going to take a scoop. Let's just see how this is going to work out. Okay. And this is going to be so good once it's sitting here overnight. Alright, so we made a whole bunch. I'm going to take this in here. Make sure we get some of the juice in there. Okay. And then put a lid on it, and then we're going to close it up and we're going to refrigerate it, and that's what that looks like. Boy, it looks really good. And then we have our other container here. Okay, shake that up, and there it is. And then we're going to put this in a couple of more containers, and there we have it. This is our tequila salsa, and it looks wonderful and it tastes just as good. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. We put videos on at least 3 times a week. Thank you and have a blessed day.